So there's two things I want to talk about today, and both of them pertaining to Fallout 76 and how you're going to actually play this new game. So the first of which is that Fallout 76 isn't going to be on Steam, and there's a few things pointing towards this. First, and one of the major ones, is actually how you pre-order and redeem your beta codes. None of the beta codes are being handled through Steam, despite that being something that other games have done in the past. And in addition, you can't actually pre-order the game on Steam. If you search Fallout 76 on Steam, it's not going to show up. This is unlike Fallout 4, which was pre-orderable on Steam, and a lot of people just after the announcement a few weeks later actually went to Steam and pre-ordered their game ahead of time. And those are like the low-hanging fruit. That's what a lot of people are talking about. If you actually go on Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, or even Bethesda.net itself and pre-order Fallout 4, you're going to get a beta code shortly thereafter. You redeem that beta code on Bethesda.net and actually tie it to your account. Although not super crazy, it wouldn't be that outlandish for them to have the beta only be through their platform to try and get more people onto the platform, but the actual game not being on Steam would be a way bigger deal. If you're an Xbox user, Steam is pretty much like the go-to service to actually get games online. There's a few alternatives like Origin for EA games, but I would say 80 to 90% of the people that own and play Fallout 4 probably bought it through Steam. There's a little bit more to this also though. If you actually look at the Bethesda.net launcher, and I personally didn't even know there was a Bethesda.net launcher, right after they announced Fallout 76, like when the reveal trailer came out, that launcher actually underwent a pretty big facelift, and now it looks quite a bit better than how it used to look. Now of course that could just be a coincidence, but at the same time it kind of makes a lot of sense. We haven't seen Rage 2 on Steam either, and yes, that one's a little bit far from release. It's not expected to release till spring 2019. But when you take that all together and actually just think about it, it makes a lot of sense going forward for Fallout 76 to be in the Bethesda launcher. It's going to bring a ton of attention to that launcher and in turn free advertisement for all of their games. Every time you launch this to actually go and play Fallout 76 or one of these other games, you're going to see probably on the store page one of Bethesda's other games. That's something that you might have not seen when you went on Steam. And of course, Steam actually takes a cut of the game sales. Seemingly with the Bethesda.net launcher, that cut would be next to nothing because it's done in-house. So there are without a doubt financial incentives to do this, and it's not a huge deal. I mean, it's going to annoy some PC users, but at the end of the day, I think having a few different launchers on your PC, although annoying, it doesn't truly affect the gameplay experience that much. When you're actually in-game, it'll probably be very difficult to distinguish whether it's from Steam or from Bethesda.net. But something that would be a much bigger deal that I'm also kind of speculating is that we may no longer have third-party mod websites such as Nexus.net or Lovers Lab, some of those. So this really isn't confirmed or denied, and if you're a console user, this literally makes no difference to you, but for most PC users of Fallout 4 and Skyrim, they exclusively use Nexus mods to satisfy their mod needs in Fallout 4. It's a website that is in no way affiliated with Bethesda, but with the onset of actually having private servers, an always online Fallout game, and the only way you're going to actually be able to use mods is through private servers, that in my eyes at least makes it seem way less likely for us to actually see mods on Nexus. So it's not ruled out entirely, but I could already picture the way Bethesda pitches this. Something along the lines of, look, we really want to get mods working in this, and the only way we could do it is by having it in-house. And when they frame the options as either no mods or mods only on Bethesda.net, I think that's a pretty clear choice. And just the way they've been talking about this, these servers are going to be a service. It might be something you actually have to pay for in order to get your own private server and add mods to it. It's probably going to be way more seamless to actually just add mods from Bethesda.net to your server, and then you can connect to your server, and if you're missing any of those mods, it'll just download them for you. Same thing for other players. Let's say you invite a few of your friends onto your server. Them having access to Bethesda.net, it'll just download those, correct their load order, and everything will be very automatic and seamless. Although it's possible that everyone will have to download the mods individually, I could just see that being a big headache for a lot of people that don't want to dump a ton of time into getting mods working and actually just want to play the game. Like let's say one of your friends has one random mod on a server that you don't have downloaded and it just gives you an error, then you have to go and download all those mods. That automatic downloading that some other games feature, I think will be present in Fallout 76, and I think the way it'll be present is by mods being a Bethesda Bethesda.net exclusive. Again, for me, this isn't the end of the world. I prefer Nexus, but I'm not opposed to only using Bethesda.net. For a lot of other people, I think they'll feel more strongly about this. And again, it's largely just a topic that I haven't seen too many people talking about, so I actually wanted to bring some attention to it or actually start a discussion around it. Neither of these things are confirmed, but I think it's one of those things that Bethesda would wait as long as possible to confirm. Nobody wants tighter restrictions around their games, and I think both of these decisions will be met with some backlash, so handling them correctly is going to be very important for Bethesda. But before we end things off, we do have today's Psych Fun Fact of the day, and today we're going to be looking at the Stanford prison experiment. If you guys don't know this, it's a very famous experiment in psychology history. If you've ever taken like one of the intro level psych classes or even a research methods class, you've probably heard about this. And more or less the idea was that you had a group of people, some of them were assigned to prisoners, some of them were assigned to guards, and they were supposed to stay and kind of role play in this prison-like setting for a week. And over time, the guards became extremely cruel, and some even actually, I believe, beating some of the prisoners. And the result of the study was meant to show that when people were given power, they actually kind of began to abuse it, or the power went to their head a bit. Well, apparently that wasn't entirely true, and a lot of the actions of these guards, or the people that were assigned to the guard group, were actually being coached by the experimenters, or the people running this study, or at the very least just doing what they thought they wanted them to do. It's a really good read, it's a really long read, but if you ever learned about this study, it's really interesting. It's about a 30-minute read according to their own website, and more or less they said they actually listened to some of the tapes that the experimenters had when they were interviewing some of the different people, and it made it seem like this wasn't just random, that many of these people were behaving in the way they were because they thought that's the outcome the experimenters wanted. As of right now, it doesn't seem like it's super conclusive one way or the other that this is definitively fake or it's definitively real, but it certainly has brought a lot of question to the validity of the study. Either way, it's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.